Welcome back. Zach here. Today is December 25th, 2014, known as Christmas to many. Today's date numerology is 51, like the word conspiracy, when you add 12 plus 25 plus 14. If you wrote out the full date, 12/25, 2014, and added each number digit for digit, so 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 5 plus 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 4, sums to 17 that way, like the word Mason, like the word kill, like the word God with Pythagorean gematria. Anyhow, the focus of this post is the Antonio Martin shooting, which happened this past Tuesday, a date with a numerology of 49, a number central to the Michael Brown case. We'll get more into that, but first let's just watch the mainstream media news coverage of this shooting and the continued emphasis on white and black, because our media is actively building a race war on lies. Which, when you really think about it, Truth Seeker, all throughout history, the race war has always been built on lies by people in high places. So really, it's nothing new. It's just an evolution that we're seeing with this mainstream media. And with that said, let's watch it.
Authorities say the team pointed a gun at the officer during an encounter at a gas station.
Wait, let's go back to the beginning. Sorry, Truth Seeker. Uh-oh.
Calls for calm tonight near Ferguson, Missouri, after a white police officer shot and killed a black teenager after authorities say the teen pointed a gun at the officer during an encounter at a gas station. The incident was captured on surveillance video. NBC's John Yang is in Berkeley, Missouri tonight. Good evening.
Good evening, Tamara. The shooting at this gas station and convenience store brought up memories for many people of the shooting of Michael Brown just 5 miles from here in Ferguson, Missouri. But tonight, officials here in Berkeley are quick to say that the two cases are very different. Today, officials were quick to release security video of the incident showing different angles. A Berkeley, Missouri police officer investigating a shoplifting report encounters two men. Less than a minute later, one of them, identified as 18-year-old Antonio Martin, raises his arm, pointing a gun, officials say, at the officer, who quickly backs up.
Officer produced his service weapon and fired what we think at this point is 3 shots.
One struck Martin, killing him. Police say they recovered a loaded 9mm gun at the scene and that Martin had a criminal record. As social media spread word of the shooting, a crowd gathered. A firecracker was thrown. There were 4 arrests.
Get down, Get down.
Martin's girlfriend and his mother were there.
Trying to get his life back together. We was trying to get him back in school and stuff.
Today, Berkeley Mayor Theodore Hoskins stated emphatically this is not Ferguson.
Here in Berkeley, if you review the video, you'll see that the aggressor was not the police. It was the victim.
Other officials agree the two cases are very different, but acknowledge there may be anger and skepticism.
And I'm angry too. But I have to tell the truth. In this situation, there is a young man who illegally possessed a gun.
Marcus Nevels works at a restaurant across the street and doesn't expect large Ferguson-like protests.
Because once they look at the news and find out what really happened, it'll be done and over with.
Tonight, there are 2 investigations, one by the St. Louis County Police Department, one by the local Berkeley Police Department. And Berkeley Mayor Hoskins is pledging an open and
True Seeker, I just want to point out this guy's name, John Yang, is a 4747 name. The police chief we just saw had a last name with a gematria of 51, like the worst word conspiracy. His name was John Belmare. Anyhow, let's get into the details of this shooting and see just how well it lines up with the Michael Brown shooting. So it took place in Berkeley, Missouri, which is said to be 5 miles away from Ferguson, the town Michael Brown was shot in on August 9th. This shooting, of course, involves the police. The gematria of police is 33, just like the acronym NRA. I should have wrote that. NRA is like this with simple English gematria, 33. Right now, we just heard them talk about headlines of a white police officer shooting a black man, and we've been hearing a lot of that lately. As it happens, the phrase race war also has a gematria of 33. And our mainstream media and our police have been instrumental in instigating this perceived race war that they're going about. So the shooting took place Tuesday, December 23rd, 2014. The numerology of this date is 49. And that is extremely curious because 49 was also central in the Michael Brown shooting. Most recently, there was a verdict from the grand jury on 11/24/14, also a date with a numerology of 49. And it should be noted that the name Michael comes from the Bible's final book, Revelation. Revelation has a gematria of 49. Here it is right here. Let me see if I can zoom that in, make it bigger for you guys, Truth Seeker. All right, there we go. Revelation has a gematria of 49. The name Michael, who's the leader of the angels of the armies of heaven in Revelation, has a gematria of 33. Like the word police, like the word race war. Also notice how M, because it's 13, becomes 4. 1 plus 3 is 4. I is 9. So Michael even begins with a 4-9. Just like where it comes from, Revelation. Okay, so the shooter this time is said to be named Antonio Martin. In simple English gematria, Antonio sums to 88. Like the word poison, like the word program. It's also a multiple of 11. 8 times 11 forms 88. The name Martin has a simple English gematria of 75. In Pythagorean gematria, the name Antonio sums to 34. And recall that the police officer who shot Antonio Martin is said to be 34 years old. Antonio was shot by a 34-year-old police officer. The number 34 is an important number in this numerology study. It is the 9th Fibonacci number. The Fibonacci numbers are the numbers of life. Currently, we're in the 34th anniversary of the Georgia Guidestones, which are located on the 34th parallel north in Georgia. The first rule on the Georgia Guidestones is maintain the Earth's population at 500 million. So they are stones that also have much to do with life. And it seems within this race war, the promoting of killing between races is very much a focal point. The name Antonio Martin in Pythagorean gematria sums to 64. This past Saturday, we saw 2 police officers killed in New York City, at least so the story went. Both of their names sum to 46 in Pythagorean gematria, the flip of 64. And the numerology of that date was also 46. So we're seeing a lot of these numbers right now. In occult numerology, 4 represents foundation and 6 represents the fall of man. 4 also has much to do with death. So just think about the fall of man and a race war. You could see how those two things would absolutely go hand in hand. Fighting over unnecessary things. In the shooting of Michael Brown and where DeAndre Joshua, the other dead black youth that was found at the same spot as Michael Brown, both of these bodies were found in front of the Canfield Green Apartments. Canfield Green Apartments of Ferguson, Missouri. I want to point out that Canfield Green Apartments in Pythagorean gematria sums to 113, as do the initials AM. A is the first letter and M is the 13th for Antonio Martin. So AM forms 113. And think about what 11 times 3 is. It's 33. Just like police, just like race war, just like Michael, just like Darren, just like Robert, just like Leslie, just like almost all the names in the Michael Brown shooting, including DeAndre, the other body found in front of Canfield Green Apartments. So this shooting that just happened took place at about 11:15. When we were watching the news, they said it happened less than a minute after 11:14, which pretty much is 11:15. On a clock, 11:15 looks like this. One hand is on the 11, the other hand is on the 3. Our 11:3, our 3:11. So often coded into these things, including Canfield Green Apartments and even Antonio Martin's initials, 113. The word apocalypse equals 113 in simple English gematria. So does the word salvation. This is a number we find so often coded into these shooting hoaxes. Again, the shooting took place in Berkeley, another suburb of St. Louis, right next to Ferguson, Missouri, where the Michael Brown shooting took place. Pythagorean gematria for Berkeley is 38. The word death in simple English gematria equals 38. Of course, 3 plus 8 equals 11, master number 11. With simple English gematria, Berkeley equals 83. The flip of 38 also reduces to 11. And there we have it, Truth Seekers. As every headline I found out there starts with the white police officer shot a black man, black teenager. Antonio Martin said to be 18 years old. We're just getting these headlines left and right, Truth Seeker. White, black, white, black. There's nothing hard to see about what's really going on here. Our mainstream media is truly trying to impact our psychology and provoke real racial tension. This is not the first time. We have a long history of this. It's just that right now it's more pronounced than it's been in several decades. It feels like 80s news headlines. Because back in the 80s, this was normal. White man, black man. But I haven't seen it for more than a decade, Truth Seeker. But here it is, back with a vengeance. So just wanted to give these facts on the Antonio Martin shooting. Some definite curiosities. Some very familiar numerology and gematria. Also, the name Martin likely reminds people of Trayvon Martin. Notice that the initials T and M. T plus M is 20 plus 13 equals 33. He was shot by George Zimmerman. G plus Z is 7 plus 26, Truth Seeker, also 33. And if you're not aware, Trayvon Martin was buried on March 3rd or 3-3. And once upon a time, Rodney King was, not Rodney Knight. Rodney King was beat on 3-3. The Rodney King beating happened on March 3rd, 3-3. Just so much of this, Truth Seeker, it all goes back to right here. Police in 33 and them being owned and operated by the Freemasons, who code these numbers on top of all the things that are them, which our police departments are very much so, as is our mainstream media. With regards to the number 113, Truth Seeker, you should know that the word mainstream sums to 113 also. So does the word green screen. Green screen also equals 113. Mainstream and green screen. All right, until next time, Truth Seekers, be safe.